I'm going to show you in this video how to develop a crude oil trading system based on market observations. I'm in my research platform, meaning the data is delayed. I have my live strategies on a server. This is my desktop research platform. And so take a look at today. This is 10:30 on crude oil. And then we have the weekly inventories, which comes out every Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern Time. And the market sold off and then it bounced back. I see this a lot lately. On these inventory or news events in a lot of markets lately, and crude oil being one of them, is that the market will sell off and then bounce right back to this point and then settle down, and then just kind of is a wide-ranging oscillation that narrows. And so how do we take advantage of this? How do we build this strategy? So I'm going to show you how to program this and develop a strategy. So we're going to go File, New Strategy, and I'm going to name it Crude Oil Weekly Inventories. And so you get the generic code that comes with it. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to start out by saying if the time is equal to 10:30. This is very basic. You can go back and make things inputs later, but this is how we're just going to put it, make it like this for now to make it quick. Day of week of date is the day of the week. Wednesday is 3. Tuesday would be 2. Monday would be 1. Sunday is actually 0. So if you trade on Sunday nights, then CL, which is the close, is equal to the close. So basically, we're anchoring the close of the 10:30 bar. And you see this right here. We want to reference this. We want to reference the price of 49.24. Even when it's on this bar and on this bar and on this bar and on this bar, the CL that we're defining will be the closing price. And we have to make that a variable. We can't just state something that's not known. So vars CL, and just set it to 0. And CL equals close. And then we'll say if the time is greater than 10:30 and time is less than 11 o'clock, just taking a look at the screen, 30 minutes of oscillations. What we want to do in day of week of date equals 3. Then sell short next bar at CL plus 0.3 limit. About 30 points is 0.3 in crude oil. And so we see that observation. If you take a look, the price was 49.24 and this low was 48.81, which was about 43 points. We'll go with 0.3 to make sure we get it, because it doesn't always move the same amount. That could also be a variable number based on previous ranges. You can make this very elegant as far as looking back at the last few Wednesdays and seeing what the ranges were in this time frame. A bit more complicated to code that, so I'm just going to show you the basics right now. If time is greater than 10:30, we did a long signal now, and time is less than 11 o'clock, and day of week of date equals 3, then buy next bar at the close minus 0.3 limit. And then what will we do for a profit target? We'll set the profit target right at the close, $300, because if you buy it at 0.3 minus the close, once it gets back to the close, you get out. And so you can set the stop loss. We're going to set the stop loss kind of wide to start out with, to 700. And this is one of those strategies that's counter trend, and sometimes the stop loss is bigger than the profit target, and so you see that there. And so then we'll verify it by clicking you can select F3 or click on the green check mark. We'll see if we have any errors. No errors down there at the bottom. So now we're going to insert the strategy into the chart, and it's the CL weekly inventory. So 1 minute chart, no custom sessions, and I have a lot of strategies that I've tested over time. Let me find it. CL weekly inventories. And so we have no inputs yet. And bingo, 2 long trades. And so this is an example of how you develop a strategy based on what you see in the market and what you think of it. And so we formatted this symbol to go back 2 years. Now the real test is going to be, okay, so how did it work for the last 2 years? Wow. So it worked good today, but it hasn't worked that well for 2 years. This is an example of what a trading system test can do for you, because you look at something and you say, I've got it figured out, and it could from this point forward work that way. You could, this from this point forward, this equity curve could go all the way back up here. It did well in the past up to about um, March 25th of 2015, then went straight down. And so the opposite. Let's check and see if the opposite works. And so let's do this. Let's comment out this code. It's green now, so it doesn't see it because it's commented out. And then we'll paste the code there. We copied and pasted it, and then we're going to reverse the entries. We're going to buy the next bar at the CL plus 3 on a stop, and then we're going to sell short next bar at CL minus 3 on a stop, and then we're going to reverse the this, so it's exactly the opposite. And notice we don't have an end of day, so this could be holding trades overnight. So we're going to verify it, and that'll change the strategy on here. And today we lost, but how has this done since 3/25 2015? So format symbol 3/25 2015. Pretty good results. What happens if we change the stop loss and profit target back? See if we can get some better results. And I'm going to verify it down here and see how it changes this. Not as good. It's not as good. So let's change it back to what it was. $700 stop loss, or $700 profit target, $300 stop loss, almost 2-to-1 win to loss, 76% profitable on the other one because the profit target was tighter than the stop loss. Now you get 47% profit, but 176 average trade profit. It's only 86 trades, and so you see that. Let's see what happens if we set exit on close. So it's still hitting that. It's still getting out by the close based on these rules, and so the results didn't change. So this is a pretty good strategy that you could trade on the weekly inventories report. Only 86 trades, and you could do further testing and improve the strategy. And I want to show you one other strategy. I'm going to pause the video for a second, then we'll come back to it. So yeah, one of the things I want to show you is the Cobra Crude strategy. A lot of times when you've been trading for a long time, it feels like the market's out to get you, or it's out to take your prices away from you. But for example, the other day we got in this Cobra Crude strategy, nice move up. Crude's been in a pretty strong bull market, and we get in, it hems and haws against us. We get out at the old pit session, close at 230. As soon as we do, then it rallies, and then it rallies, and then it rallies. And so seems like a lot of times in the middle of the day when the market is closed, it will, or when the market is open, it won't move as much, and then a lot of times the moves will happen before the market opens and after it closes, and it's gridlock in the middle. It can be gridlock in the middle of the day. It's not always true, but you see that happening today. Cobra Crude is long, jumped around during that inventories report, and now it's not really providing any net gain of a trend intraday, and you see that a lot in strategies. So what can we do to take advantage of it after hours? And I'm going to show you some additional code on how to do that. I'm just going to add it to this to make it simple. You can create separate strategies if you want. So I'm going to comment this out, and I'm going to add some new code. So it's going to be same as before. I'm going to copy this because it's similar. So crude oil closes at 14:30 or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The old pit session close. You'll see a lot of times reporting, if you watch CNBC at all, reporting is the gold market closes or is the crude oil closes. Those are the old pit session closing times that they're reporting. Those markets are not closed. They trade virtually 24 hours a day, and so we're going to take a look at that. So if it closes at 14:30, you want to grab that price. We're not worried about the day of the week in this case. It could be just any day. And then the close, CL is equal to the close at 14:30. And then if the time is greater than 14:30 after the old pit session closed and less than 1700, less than 1700 here, greater than 14:30 there. We got our long and short signals. We're not worried about the day of the week. We could actually test that to see if there's one day of the week that really works well or really works bad and figure out why and what's going on. But we're not going to do that here for this video. Then buy the next bar at CL plus, go a little bit tighter here because it really tends to break out and run when we do this. So we'll set the, we'll just use the same exits. We won't exit on the close at first, just to give us the raw information, and we'll take a look and see what happens. So let's look at the performance summary for this. It's actually right here. So here it is. Here's the recent performance summary for end of day crude oil, and you see pretty nice equity curve. It's pulled back a little bit here, kind of like it has here. So it might be a good time to start trading this. 72.36 per trade, 242 trades. Largest winning trade is 1350, and the largest losing trade is 670, which means it's held trades overnight. Since our profit target is 700 and our stop loss is 300, if you see the largest winning trade and largest losing trades bigger than those numbers, it means there was a gap in the data. Either through an exchange closing, which we haven't seen in a while, or you held the position overnight. And so if you put in set exit on close, which we will do here, you will see the results. It'll update here. So I paused the video while it updated. It pays to hold this one overnight and to keep it going. You might get that gap and might have a bigger loss. That's the scary thing for a lot of people. So you could get out and then get back in, but then you'll end up missing probably that biggest winning trade. So this is one way to trade it. You can trade the weekly inventories based on this code, uncomment it, and you can trade the end of day based on this close, but hold the position after hours, and you can see some nice gains in that same time period. So between these two reports, let me see if I uncomment it. I'm going to uncomment the weekly inventories as well. Well, it won't work because it has a set exit on close, but you've got the results from here from your end of day trend strategy in crude oil, and let's take a look at the results of these. Need to be two separate strategies, and I'm going to look at the results individually of your weekly inventory. So $32,000 before slippage and commission, with some nice average trade profits, some pretty low drawdowns, and so there's a lot of things you could do to improve these strategies as far as max daily entries and some other approaches. So that's just some basic training, some basic freebies on how to trade crude oil. Let me know if you have any questions.